Hey, the year is almost over, and I, Sam Valentino, the private toon detective, want to talk about another mystery that has just been solved this past weekend. It's not about cartoons, so I wasn't really involved with this caper. Since it's a hobby, this YouTube channel, and Zach Wolf, I figure I'd speak about it. I call it the case of the missing T.A.T logo. A brief background. T.A.T Communications Company was founded by famed TV producer Norman Lear, who died a year ago, and comedian Jerry Parancino, to produce and distribute shows and sitcoms like The Jeffersons and One Day at a Time. T.A.T is an acronym for the Yiddish phrase Tukasafa Tush, which means enough talk, put your butt on the table. They had an on-screen closing logo, but it was only used for syndicated reruns of their programs, and only for a short period of time in the early 1980s, after T.A.T was folded into Embassy Telecommunications. Norman Lear must have really liked stars and cheesy synthesizers. During the era of T.A.T, he also had PITS films with this thing. Also, that's an acronym for the expression pie in the sky. Nas Music is what T.A.T stood for. So when Embassy came into the picture, they pretty much snuffed out all logos and references to T.A.T and PITS, so they would be up to date. Those shows are now in with the Embassy logo, even reruns of the older episodes. And through different buyouts and mergers, the T.A.T and Embassy catalogs are now owned by Sony Pictures Television. And of course, they're known for being very plaster happy with that logo they came out with 22 years ago that sounds like a habanero number from Carmen. Sure, while those executive bigwigs may think it's not a big deal, I think logo plastering, as they call it, is like censorship or editing for content, because you're editing something out, replacing it with something new. And Sony isn't alone on this. Paramount and CBS do it, Cookie Jar did it, PBS does it, Warner Brothers does it, and even Disney's done it from time to time, going as far as to plaster the Walt Disney Pictures Castle logo Pixar animated for their movies with the 2006 Disney logo. And in those days before home recording became more common and affordable, such older logos ran the risk of becoming lost media, like the T.A.T logo did. Many years ago, the only evidence of that logo he had was of a recording of the logo's corny synthesizer jingle. And then at the very start of 2018, which was almost 7 years ago now, the first visual evidence of the logo was found from an October 1980 rerun of One Day at a Time, but it was cut off. Kind of a tease, wasn't it? And so we started getting hypothetical reconstructions on how the logo went, and it quickly became a meme subject.
This is CBS.
But then, just 2 days ago, the YouTube channel user known as Board's VHS Pile was going through some Betamax tapes he just received, and on one of the tapes was an early 1980s rerun of an episode of The Jeffersons, and look what just happened to be on it. Yeah, it's a little anticlimactic, as it's pretty much just as I expected how the full logo would play. Even after a few such recreations continued to speculate alternate theories on the finished logo. Whatever the case, people were thrilled to see the mystery finally being solved. There's a feeling of satisfaction I know all too well from when I solve a case. But I've still got the staggering case of Copley's disappearance from Anthem, New England to crack, or at least help crack. That convention is now less than 3 weeks away. And in addition to my sleuthing, there's going to be a panel about YouTube poops, like the one at For Apocalypse a couple months ago. So here's to hoping 2025 will be an overall better year for me and the others related to this YouTube channel.